Hello and welcome to Maypole Farm, the extended edition. There's been a significant amount of changes to warrant the video, and some of it is to do with the introduction of more work to do on your whatever farm you pick, should you choose to extend the workload that you can have available there. And another one was more of a feature that some people probably would have liked, especially in the original Maypole, where the map was a lot smaller, a lot tighter, and so we're going to take a look at those in a sec. But the currently the map is in testing on a Dedi server, and more changes are planned. But what we've got currently is it'd probably be easier if I'm outside the view to give you guys more to look at. What we've got, what is planned for more changes, might not be as big as the current changes. Those of you who have played Maypole before will immediately spot one of the changes already, and if you haven't, then you obviously haven't played the map long enough, or maybe even paid enough attention to the surroundings, and I will leave you guessing as to what that change is until we get to it at some point during the video. But we'll get to the end of this line and then we'll go and take a look, and then we can come back and finish off this harvest. So let's just turn that off. Right, so the map is a lot more play area within the map now. So default size of a 2x2 total size map, but it's not a 2x2 play area, you know. And one of the changes will be to the outer edge of the non-playable area, and that will make more sense if I get the look that I'm after when I do end up getting around to doing that. The other change, now I obviously don't own this farm, good friend is in charge of this farm and currently isn't here today, but you all recognise the dairy farm that you start on, and nothing big has changed here, but you know, some of you will have noticed that there's no horse pasture here. That may have been in the previous version I released actually, but if it wasn't, well, it's there now. The other change was yes, second silage clamp, and you get another dairy farm or another cow farm, cow pasture and farm. So you could have dairy and you could have beef cows if you're doing seasons or playing with the animal breed mod. I can open that cake, can't I? I can. I won't open it because I don't own the farm, but I can open it without owning the farm. You'll also now have two garage icons up here, or garage points up here. The first would be here. Don't own the farm or this piece of land, so can't see it. So you could park up just here, and you could fix your vehicles. And one of the mods that we've got is the broom mod on. I haven't used it yet, but got a lot of chickens in there. He's got no cows though at the moment, or horses for that matter. But when it first went on the server, the changes I'm about to show you wasn't present on the server or on that version, and it was to do with the other two farms. Originally I was playing as the sheep farm, which we'll have to jump here to run to it, unless I buy the sheep farm to quickly jump down there. I think that's available. Yeah, we'll just buy it quickly so we can jump down to it in a minute. Was to do with the cows and the fact that you had a lot more to do on the main farm, and these other farms, they didn't really offer anything. And yes, we do also have the, what is it called, precision farming DLC. That is fully implemented into the map, and we can see the differences on fields. But that was implemented day one of the DLC coming out. That was implemented, and then it went back on the server. So I haven't really played around with this too much yet. I've been focusing on other things, but it has been, people have been using it. So if we jump to the sheep, we now have a farm silo in here. So, you know, sheep, they don't require any grain or anything, so I have a silo here, right? And but this has been opened up now. Used to be a hedge that went straight across with a field behind. Now you have a horse pasture and you have chickens. So you've got two animals that feed for 6 days, unless you're playing the seasons, then feed for 3 days, and just leave to their own device. But if you're doing the sheep, well, you'd want more to do. So having to ride horses every day and train them up, that'd give you something to do, right? And now you can understand why there's a grain silo. I was contemplating on putting a silage clamp down here originally. Originally the plan was for it to go up there where this silo is, but I decided against it, and the reason being, I was going to put silage clamping was in real life. When breeding sheep, they will feed silage to sheep sometimes. How often that is, or if it's a big popular thing, I don't know, but it is known to happen. But unfortunately you can't feed silage to sheep in the game. Maybe a mod would do that, which would make sense then to have a silage clamp, and it wouldn't take much, a few shovels, and your sheep are good to go. So that's the sheep farm extended. Now the pigs, don't know what I've done that for. I want to visit them, not try and buy the land. I already own the land. I had never worked with pigs. FS, when was it introduced? 15, I didn't play that often. It was like only for testing. 17, I didn't really care for pigs, and 19, it was like, well, I haven't worked with them, so why not? So all of this remains the same, apart from now, because of the extended area, you can now go into their area and or their pasture and move around in there. But to our left, that has changed. A whole new section of the farm, and just like the pigs, doesn't matter what game mode you play, seasons or standard default base game, you don't have anything to do. Once you fed them for 6 or 3 days, you're basically not really doing much. So it made sense. Put something else in there for people to do. This one only has 2 animal pastures on, cows and the pigs. That'll be enough to keep you busy though, right? So the dairy farm, 2 cow pastures, horse pasture and chickens. Sheep farm, you've got the sheep, chickens and horse. And the pig farm, you've got dairy and pigs. So you've got 3 cattle farms. You've got 2 chicken farms. You've only got 1 sheep, 1 pig, which Farmer Dad indicated about this, and was indicating maybe adding another sheep and pig farm somewhere else with maybe even giving them horses and chickens, so then there's like 3 of each animal breed on the map. But then there'd only be 2 chicken and pig and chicken, pigs and sheep even, unless it was a rather big farm which had 2 of each pasture. That'd definitely keep you busy, wouldn't it? And if I did it, I'd probably do it down here, or I'd maybe give chickens and horses maybe on the grain farm, which is here actually. That's not a farm. And the other farm would probably be somewhere down here where it's a lot flatter, maybe here or on this bend, maybe. But less terrain editing would be down here, because with terrain editing there's a lot of having to redo the fences, hedges, trees, and yeah, it can be a nightmare. But so I've got the dairy farm, or I'm running the pig farm with some cows. Currently I've got no pigs, funny enough. I haven't worked with pigs, or I kind of did, but in the previous version of this map before soil mod, the precision farming and whatnot was added. Another change, something Farmer Dad pointed out: why not remove the hedge that was, stopping you from extending, and make it so you could extend your farm into the forestry areas. So the hedge was taken out, moved up against the side of the road, and now you can come in here, cut all these trees down, and then extend your field, and quite considerably. But not only can you do that, we have got additional mods in as well. So we've got the field info mod, which will give you a rough idea of what your yield should be and all that good stuff. Now let's find one actually, maybe one over this way, yeah, because I've already done one, so we will showcase it in this field on that edge, because I was harvesting this field originally. It was soybean, I believe, or barley. It was a grain anyway, and I didn't want to take the combine out just to go into the next field, so I removed the hedge, and so I could get through. But the hedges are going to be changed because there's collisions currently for players. You can drive through them in a vehicle, any vehicle, and it'll be fine, but you can't run through them. You can here, where the hedge has been removed. It's just the trigger kind of comes quite far over, because these, when I replaced the hedges, it kept the original sizes, hence the reason that in the middle the stump is quite big. Now I've got the mod in that you don't need to own the land to be able to do this, so, but you know, then get rid of the stump, and we have no use of that either. And you can do that all the way along, and now we can, where we was getting stuck as a player, and if I bring up, not that button, that one, you can see there's the collision, which is related to this stump. So if we get rid of the stump, now that collision's gone. Can we, thank you, and that, and now we're left with the one from the next bush, but you can take out all of them bushes to your heart's content. The only hedges that you can't take out are any that are along the main road or around pastures, buildings, including houses, sell points. You can't take these hedges out, and they do have the collisions within them. I had contemplated on taking them collisions out. I may still take them out or change them so bales can't go through them, but you can. You hear that, Moondog? Being nice for once, huh? Coming with this farm, which hasn't changed, you now have a sleep trigger just here. So you own this house, which will probably be changed for a more up-to-date house for Farm Sim, because it is an old house in terms of what Farm Sim it came from. The other house you do get is the pig farm, has also a sleep trigger, which I don't own the land to, but do I have the money to buy the additional plot of land? And they have been set up purposely like this, so that's the cattle farm, pig farm, sheep farm, horses and chickens. I can't buy that plot of land, but if I wanted I could buy the other cow pasture, and so you could have two people working in the same farm. So when you buy a particular farm, you don't buy everything to do with that farm in one get-go. And you have a sleep trigger here for the sheep. The pigs, they have, if we go to land, this little house here, but the sleep trigger hasn't been added yet. But each farm now has its own sleep trigger. And this farm has been fully tested out, which now I can sell the land as well, because I'm not working with sheep. But yes, this farm has been fully tested out, everything works fine, and nice tidy little area. The other part was this got opened up a little bit because I used to have hedges that used to stick out, and as Farmer Dad pointed out, coming out of the sheep farm and turning down into any field down this way was a nightmare. A BGA for those who like to do a lot of silage, not something I personally would have wanted on the map, because out in the country we wouldn't see a BGA. But yeah, it's there for those who want to do that. Another sell point here, we've got additional sell points. So we've got the barn, which is the standard normal place. Central grain elevator, top of the map by the grain mill. The normal grain mill, again by the barn in the original sell point location. Ledley, which was in the, I think I released that version, didn't I, the extended version, which only opened up one side of the map. Which also adds the pub on that side as well, which is over on the west side. The Monkey Show Exports will change name. It will become the Maypole Exports. And that's down in the southeast part of the map, along with the sawmill, which is just behind the store for your vehicles, and then the spinnery, which is all the way over here in the northwest, southwest part of the map. And your trigger is just here, and it's quite tight to get in. This part has changed in this version. Instead of being a hedge, it's now a wall that goes around, so it opens it up. Not massively, but enough for you to know that, you know, where the entrance is to get in. And the chances are this side will be done exactly the same, because there are fields down that way that you can work. And if you're doing cotton, you'd want to be able to swing your trailer in a little bit easier. But makes it just that little bit easier just to get in. And if I do it, that wall might come all the way up here and end somewhere here, or maybe even curl it in slightly here, just so you know. And then to get back to the fields, you can come this way if you want. Every time you see my character jump, it's because of a collision with the cuttable hedges. It's something I've got to fix. Like I said, if you're in a vehicle, you can just drive through them. They don't affect you as in vehicles, luckily. I've been working on that on and off for a couple of days now. So that's all the changes, to be honest, currently. So yeah, we're kind of getting there. Looking forward to having this version released soon. In reality, I should be working on it constantly at the moment, because I'm going to be with very little time in the up and coming future of a few days time, and so work on the map will be a lot slower, and it's already slow as it is. So the release date for this, I can't give you one. I honestly can't. I'm hoping that it will be sooner rather than later, but as to when sooner is, I do not know. Changes for the outer edge is it's going to be a wall of forestry all the way around, instead of these fields, or maybe in certain areas a wall of forestry with with grass fields or something, because they don't change. They won't change with seasons or anything. That whatever you see there is what you'll see then. If you have withering on, then those crops will die, and that will be that. And if playing with seasons, well, it becomes very boring, especially seeing crops in withered crops in fields out there, and all your fields are completely bare in the play area. Kind of it takes away from the feeling. But you know, the good thing is though that the workload that has been put in so far is going well. Like I said, the hedges are the main problem. Adding more animal or a new animal farm, although can be daunting, it will be it'll be fun to see another animal farm on here, given what we've got 3 animal farms and a grain farm currently. You know, that would why aren't we cutting them? Thank you. It give us give the anyone doing multiplayer on the map the ability to have 5 farms running, so 5 sets of players or 5 players all with their own farms, their own schedules, and if they're playing with seasons and they're active players, then you know it just adds to the workload. And it'd be interesting to see how precision farming with seasons would be affected, or how precision farming would affect seasons, especially if you rely on the grain, not so much if you rely on the straw. I would have liked a straw to play a role within precision farming, though. That's my one niggle with it. It'd have been nice if you could have ploughed your straw into your field, or and if you did and you shouldn't have, then you'd have a negative effect towards your, you know, the values within that field, and maybe even to the point where it could actually do harm to your crop rather than just affect the yield. Could actually kill your crop off. You know, anyone who knows anything about nitrates and that in will know, especially if they're fish keepers, will know being too high is really dangerous and can cause a lot of harm. So having those nitrates just right. I mean, there isn't a fine line between what's right and what's wrong, but there is room, margin for error, but at the same time, if you hit that wall, it can, and isn't dealt with too quickly, can have a negative effect. And well, I'm presuming it would also have a negative effect in the long term on a crop, rather than you're going to lose whatever percentage in your yield. Over time, your yield would just get less and less and less the longer it was left. I'm presuming, I'm not an expert, but it makes sense that it would have a much more negative effect over the course of time, rather than, oh, you put too much nitrates into this field, or the nitrates in this field are too high for this particular crop, so your yield is now 20% less. And it would have been nice if it was 20% less at first growth stage, and if you left it, or harvest stage, if you left it to the second harvest stage, then that effects would be doubled, and if left to the final stage of harvest, then you know it would be tripled. So you would definitely want to get your harvest in on the first iteration, rather than waiting for later stages. That would have been definitely made you think when you was doing your farming, have I got enough? I've got all these fields out, can I do them all? Thank you. And we've got crop destruction on, so that wasn't a good thing to have happen, but it's fine. I'm only selling it anyway. And another thing, I think I can just show you here, can't I, instead of reversing out. For those who want to drive through hedges, you can. Remember what I mean about collisions in hedges affecting non-vehicle stuff, but for the player, yeah, they will. Well, there you go. And to show that for the vehicles you can get through here, no problems. And then for the player currently, you know, wall, and the other one slightly hangs over that side. But you won't have to worry about that. That won't be there in the release version. That'll be all fixed. And let's go back in the combine. So I'm hoping that in the next few days I can get a lot of these hedges sorted, and a big portion of the outer play area, especially here where you can see the, you know, the end of the map effectively. It's not nice to see. The other thing was just making all that viable land out there and just have it as one big grass area, but or lots of grass fields out there, and you just buy the land with forestry all over the place. But then I've got to make additional fields, and yeah, not nice. I don't have the time for that. And then it's making it a full player, a full, almost, well, it would be a full play area then. But it's slowly getting there, and all the testing so far has been going well. A few little things here and there that have been found, mostly misclicks where I've accidentally, moving around the map, clicked on a piece of terrain somewhere, and it's left a little dip in the ground. Nothing drastic, nothing that made your vehicle drop into, you know, hell. Just a slight bump. But it'll be all of them are fixed that we found anyway. So oh, you stupid thing. It's okay, I'm trying to do something on my phone while I'm driving along in a combine, you know, harvesting, and my phone moved. Try that again. Okay, and oh no, I didn't want to push that just yet. Good. There, I can put my phone back down now. If I missed a strip out there, it looks like I did, doesn't it? I know that was a big thing in 17. No, 13, sorry. Didn't really happen so much in 11. We'll find out in a minute. The crop would disappear, but it would leave like a line in the ground where you'd missed. Like there. You just suddenly saw a piece of corn appear in the header. But we're almost done with this field, which is nice. Then we get to go to the next field, which is all the way down in the south, field 28. Yeah. Quite a drive. And the good news is that when you look at the mini-map, you can get between, look direct north of the map to the grain, central grain elevator. Between field 65 and 67, there's a little dirt road that will take you from the main road all the way down to the dairy farm. And from the dairy farm, you can go along field 1 and field 43 as you could originally. We'll find out if this is actually a crop here in the sec. You can go, and it is, as you can see. You can get back onto the main road there, so you haven't got to follow the main road like in the original version of the map. Each dirt road led you to a dead end. You could never get from one part of the main road to the other, so you could never do a full circulation of the map. The other part is if you go, again looking at from the central grain elevator, if you go from field 67, which is between the grain elevator and that field, there's a dirt road that will take you all the way around 67, 68, 87, and we completely missed that pipe. I'm too busy looking at the mini-map. 85, 90. We get this in, we should get this in, shouldn't we? Hopefully. If not, it's okay, because the other field's corn anyway. All the way down to the main road by the BGA, basically. So you can get from the grain elevator to the BGA without even going through the dairy farm. Now that that's finished, I can actually show you here. So this way you can come, because this road comes up here, so you can get to here and then straight down this side here. Though you can kind of see the dirt road. And this one will lead you, as you can see, to the dairy and out. So here as well, this one will lead you from here to here, and you can cut through here to get there. So there's a lot more. The only thing is you can't get from here to here without cutting hedges out. This is but you know, can also get from Ledley all the way over to here, or all the way over to this side without having to go along the main road. So the map is a lot more open. You will have some roads that will lead to like a dead end, like this one will lead to that field, but you know, that road will only lead to that field unless you cut the hedges out. They're not how they originally was. Like this one will lead to these 3 fields. And this one used to only lead to here, and then it would be like, that would be it. It would have a road that would come up here and it'd lead to a couple of other fields, but you couldn't get to these fields. Now you can go around here and in, or out that way and in, or cut an edge out and in. You know, there's a lot more options for you to do. And where do we need to sell this? We don't need the PDA open. That one. Corn. The Monkey Show exports. Well, there we go. We got a perfect opportunity to showcase the wow, this is a heavy load, but it is the big Joskin trailer as well, you know. But the tractor's fully upgraded, I think 200 and summer. We need fuel as well while we're there, so we can go and sort that out. But there is no traffic on the map. I'm not one for traffic. I see a lot of people just turn it off. So what's the point in putting traffic on if people just turn it off? It's not a requirement for a map. And originally, when I first worked on this map, it was going to be concrete or asphalt style painted roads, and then I found these roads and decided to put them in. But what we'll do is we'll go through by the spinnery and we'll work our way to the, even though it's the longer route to get there, but we'll go that way to the Monkey Show exports, and you'll see that the dirt roads back there are currently being modified in the next version. Because when I'd done that area, I didn't put too much thought into the dirt roads. It was just get from here, from point A to point B, and not in the sense that I didn't put enough thought into vehicles getting around them. I made them square, and that was boring. So there's a little bit of work to do there, nothing too drastic though. In fact, a lot of that has already been sorted. So we could sell corn here if we wanted, but we're not going to. We want the best possible price. Considering I stopped the time at 6 AM. I've done a lot of farming today. The server set to pause when nobody's on, and I'm the only one that's been on today. You know, Christmas is just round the corner. Everybody's getting busy just at the moment. But currently there's only me and Farmer Dad who actually do come on now. Everybody else is too busy with other things. But as is the case with the current year, time of year even. So we could go in this way, but we're going to go this way because when Moondog came on before the server and mods got updated, and Farmer Dad tried to do the same as well, tried to go this way into the field. which would have made sense. If I try and go straight on, there would have been a collision there, but currently I disabled the collisions for the world boundary collisions, but originally you'd have hit a barrier and you wouldn't have been able to go anywhere. But now, without the world collision, with the world collisions on, you'd be able to go this way. But you'll see what I mean by didn't put too much thought into the shape of the roads going around corners in a second. And this one isn't so bad, and but this one kind of is. Some of them already got updated, like this one used to be not like that. Wow, don't realise how much of a hell this is. Unfortunately, that corn isn't ready, but that one is. In fact, that's our field, isn't it? Yep. Wonder how long this one will be before it's ready. Shouldn't be too long, should it? Might buy that field and do that field as well. We're just flipping fields on the server at the moment, just testing all the fields out. It's a lot easier to do it that way than slowly get into the fields, buying the fields. I mean, if it was in seasons it would make sense, but we're not playing with seasons on. I mean, when I first put it on the server we had seasons on, but the wrong time of year to be thinking about seasons in the terms of people being able to be active. And with seasons, especially if everybody's got their own farm, then you would that field might be ready as well. Grass field. You see what I mean by some of the roads need a little bit of altering, and not too much, but you know, just take off the corner on the fields just to give you a bit more ease on getting around, especially with bigger equipment or your combine. But here we are, Monkey Show exports. And that price didn't change, did it? Good. Because that would have been a nightmare. I could have kept that corn and for the pigs put in storage at the farm, but right now my focus is get the cows implemented fully. In fact, when is the next cow due? In 7.5 hours, and every 33 hours we'll get a new one, considering I filled them up with TMR a couple of, well, yesterday, game day wise. Well, actually it was yesterday, or technically it was yesterday. It was like a few minutes before midnight when I had got all the TMR, and I'd originally fed them grass and silage, and then I decided, you know what, I'll flip some fields and do some silage bales and additional silage bales and a couple of hay fields and whatever hay I had left I dropped in the dairy farm for Farmer Dad. I kept just a few bales for myself, just so that when I do some silage I can quickly just top them up. But by a few I mean not even a trailer load. I took a trailer load to Farmer Dad's farm now. But as you can see, we're back on the main road. And now we're going to pull in to here, and our milk trailer is just we'll just drop the trailer there, and we'll go and fill up. We could have got the trailer around here. I brought the semi you know, full of logs and everything through and down into the forestry sell point just back there. £500 on fuel, jeez, not cheap. One thing I don't have on the main farm, or on the main farm, on the sheep or pig farm is workstations yet. No, we want to go this way, don't we? We don't want to go all the way back on ourselves to get to the field. So we will, although we could have gone that way, there's another way of getting there, but it's fine. We'll go this way. Won't take us that long anyway. But it's nice to see some of the changes and working, and knowing that the map is going in a more positive direction, because now if you decide that you don't want to take over one of the farms, you could buy, say, this field here to our right, and then if you need extra land you could cut out the edges behind it or within it, and then buy the field next to it and extend your farm that way without having to go back onto the main road to get into that particular part. And the reason you can't cut the hedges on the main road is because you wouldn't be able to get rid of the fence, the gates and that, and there's walls and fencing, and so it just made sense to have them ones as non-cuttable. And any cuttable hedges, as you will see, will have these like bushes within them, which would signify that you can cut them particular hedges. Just makes it visually a lot more easier to go, yeah, I can cut that hedge, than walking over to it and then going, getting your chainsaw out to find that the whole of that hedge is I was going to go left then. Yeah, I do know my way around the map. I just have a brain fart every now and then. It's a lot of sunflower. I'm glad I'm not doing that one. And I could do silage if I wanted. I do have I didn't show you it, but there is a silage clamp on the pig farm as well. I'll show you that in a minute. We'll just get to this field, which is just an hour left here. So we'll just park that there. You can put that away, and while that's doing that, we will quickly jump back to here, and just behind the shed is your silage clamp. So yeah, I was contemplating on putting the BGA sell point here as well, like on the dairy farm, so you could sell into the BGA, because in multiplayer, if you only one person can own the BGA, so therefore only one person can ever theoretically use the BGA, unless you're working co-op and you go, I will sell the BGA when I'm no longer needing it, and then you can use it for what you need, you know, that. But on a competitive multiplayer, if you're doing it that way, which I've seen a few people, yes, I know about the post here, that's already fixed in the next version. A few people I've seen have been doing it like that, competitive multiplayer, and one person actually owned the BGA and refused to let go of it so somebody else could use it, so they had to have a placeable BGA. Yeah, not fun. Anyway, I don't think there's anything else to really talk about, so I'm going to leave it there, and hope that you have a good time, that you have a good Christmas and a good New Year, and hopefully a much better start to the new year coming in, with vaccines being pushed out. And I'm not on about just in the UK, I'm about worldwide. Hopefully that will start soon enough, and we can get on top of this COVID situation once and for all, hopefully, if all goes well with the vaccines. That's yet to be seen, and we can get back to much more normality within our own countries, and not have to wear face masks everywhere we go. That'd be nice, and not have to worry about, you know, keeping 6 foot distance between the person ahead and the person behind, and then, you know, and being looked at funny because you sneezed or coughed. That would also be nice. So yeah, anyway, take care. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button, and if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. It's been a while since I did a video. So yeah, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Hit the like button if you like the video, and hit the follow button so you'll be notified as and when I do a video, which will be kind of rare at the moment. There are some videos coming out though, so those of you like Anno or Dawn of Man, I did the videos a while ago, knowing that I would be very much busy for a good portion of January. They'll be coming out through January and February. So yeah, I will catch you all later. See ya. And I never ever remember what the shortcut is. Yeah, Alt F8, there you go. I need to put that on a piece of paper on my wall somewhere, saying end stream Alt F8.